attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Your blood pressure is systolic pressure 156 millimeter of mercury pillar. Diastolic pressure 104 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your pulse is 93 beats per minute. Measuring result is high. Thank you. Wish you a good health.
And again, wishing good health to everybody out there who's facing the coronavirus. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, I did see some people that I do pay attention to, that I do like, spreading some misinformation. So I'll address it, okay? So, there's a claim that viruses do not become airborne, because like the coronavirus is an airborne virus. Well, so is the common cold. Alright? Viruses have been airborne for a long fucking time. The idea that, then there's the claim that viruses do not, go from species, animal to human. Alright? The swine flu, the avian flu, malaria is spread by mosquitoes. Okay. It's even believed that AIDS started from a primate. Okay. Basically, a lot of what this person is saying is factually wrong. Right? He's basically trying to claim that this is, all of this stuff is based on a science fiction, and what he's talking about is the sci-fi, originally a book and later a movie called The Andromeda Strain. There have been many knockoffs of it, and other, movies that have kind of used the theme from The Andromeda Strain to present other ideas, like a zombie virus, which is a little more fantastic than just a virus. But no, the Andromeda Strain is genuinely accurate of how viruses work. Okay. None of this is new. I should also point out that while this guy is like, and I'm not going to say who it is because fuck started kicking off internet drama and wars, and calling people out. I just want the correct information out there, But basic knowledge of how viruses work, basic biology, science, has already demonstrated that all this shit that this person is putting out is not true. I think he's just misunderstanding stuff, that he thinks that these are protein strains. All right, but even that, all right, that's the mad cow's disease. It's not a virus; it's a protein strain. All right, and it has a bad protein strain that enters the cow and causes the cow to go crazy. And if you eat the meat from the cow, then it spreads to the human brain too. that shit. Okay. Yes, these are what he's saying is not legitimate. All right. Uh, but you know how this is. Somebody spreads out conspiracy theories and says, so this goes on the conspiracy theory of the coronavirus isn't a real virus, and such. I see where the person is coming from. There are people who are politically exploiting it, but they're exploiting an actual event. They're not exploiting, something that was made up. Oh, see, Trump caused the coronavirus. All right. I think you can tell just how organic or real this is by how unfitting the claims are. Trump caused the coronavirus. Nothing of the event of the coronavirus can be logically blamed on Trump. If you can blame Trump for the coronavirus, then you can blame Trump for the Black Plague. If you blame Trump for the coronavirus, you can blame Trump for starvation that happened like so far long ago that it's more documented in myths and legends than actual historical documents. No, this is shit. Okay, this logic doesn't work. Right? It's so disconnected from reality. Yes, the virus is real, and somebody's just trying to slam, Trump did it, into it. Okay. Now on another side, there's the other side of the conspiracy theory that somebody's saying that another conspiracy theory, another end of it, that's saying that China created this virus artificially. I don't think so. All right, and the reason is because going down the names. All right, Wuhan, right? It's the location. Okay, which is near a lab. So it wasn't released, at a target. It was released by China on itself by accident. All right, if this was, China's, something China made, they fucked themselves. All right, this isn't like, So, no matter how you want to, whether it's an artificial virus or something they just had in the storage, they released it on themselves. All right. But that goes against the idea that this is a weapon because they wouldn't, because the fact that they screwed up and released on the public, you know, I don't, I don't buy that anybody would be so incompetent as to keep a bioweapon where they can release it on the general populace. Of course, maybe I'm just being naive. Okay, moving on. Okay. The coronavirus. Okay. Corona is not this virus. It's a class of viruses. It's a family of viruses. So the fact of the matter is, there's a bunch of organic viruses exactly like this. Which suggests to me that China didn't make it. They organically ran across it and were working on an antidote. That makes a whole lot more sense. They were holding something that does exist, that just has not yet passed to humans, but eventually will pass to humans. Alright? Just a matter of time. And so China was working on an antidote before that happened. Right? So that when that happened, organically, they would have an antidote. And they fucked up, and instead of coming up with an antidote, they released it on the human population by mistake. That's my theory. Right? That they just fucked up and released something that they were trying to find an antidote for before it reached the human population, and just released it on the human population early. Oops. The fuck? Yeah. So that's my theory. Now, the claim that this is a biological weapon made by Trump Yeah, it's a biological weapon made by Trump that was released right on top of Chinese biological weapons factory. Biological lab. Sorry, not biological weapons, but biological lab where China could then grab it and then come up with a cure. Um, the fuck? And like, why not a better target? Like in the middle of nowhere, so that it can spread unnoticed for a long time and not be scooped up by a laboratory and find a cure, or in the middle of a big population where that is a major commerce. No, no, release it in the Wuhan district, where it's very likely to be found by the lab and find a cure before it becomes a problem. No, no. Like I understand that the U.S. intelligence agencies are sloppy, but they're not that fucking sloppy. Now, I don't think this is a biological weapon because first of all, it doesn't like have it. For it to be a biological weapon, it should like be able to just like do the damage right where it is, so that it doesn't spread out. This stuff spreads out and might occasionally kill someone. That's like the world's worst fucking biological weapon. But then I'm dealing with the world's lamest um, you know, quarantine. A quarantine where basically I can walk out whenever I feel like to go shopping. Yay. And everybody's doing it. They're going out and going shopping whenever they fucking feel like it. Anyway, there it is. No, no. This is not some biological weapon. It wasn't made by Trump. It wasn't made by China. It's not, it's not a fake thing that's being put out by Hollywood. It's not some, like 50 to 60-year-old meme. Brainwashing by means of a book written like 50 years ago. No, 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 no. This is a real virus. Okay, this is how viruses act. Okay, and I think it's just a matter of. I think my theory is just that China was trying to make an antidote for it, and they fucked up. Okay, that's all. All right, and they can't face the shame of the fact that they were sloppy. That's it. Like, oh, it's Trump. No, and everybody else, and everybody's just taking the opportunity. Blame Trump. Blame Trump. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. Fuck that. Okay. Fuck your shit. Now this is like back when they're like, oh my God, Bill Clinton smoked pot. That's so wrong. And then eventually it got so fucking bad. The Newt Gingrich, the leader of the Republican Party, he's basically Bill Clinton's nemesis, came out and said, I smoked pot. Fuck you. This is bullshit. Everybody in the 60s smoked pot. Chill the fuck out. It's not how he put it, but you get the idea. It's like, God damn it, Don't make a fucking big deal about the fact Bill Clinton smoked pot. So did I. So did everybody. Fuck off. It's the 60s. It's just like I worked with computers in the 80s. When I was a child in the 80s, and I worked with computers. So you can logically conclude that I actually hacked into various systems. In fact, I actually hacked into the phone company computers. It's not a high security system. No, it's actually like some sort of contractor system, some sort of contractor point. It's just they had such a sloppy security system that I was able to lock it up and cause it to freeze. Okay, but but all they had to do to fix it was to turn it off and turn it on back on again. Flip a switch. Um, Still, they shouldn't have left something so vulnerable, like open to the public. No passwords. Even though the system was set to have passwords, there were no passwords. Okay, the way you get to the password is you hit the enter key. There wasn't a password. It's supposed to have a password. When you get the password prompt, you hit the enter key, and it just lets you in. So there is no password on that system. That was fucked up. That's how I hacked the system. All right. That's just like log in home. Type in home. And then this is login, and then in parentheses home, and you type in home, and it works. That's the login account. And then it says password, and you hit the enter key, and you log in. It's like, the fuck, man. Anyway, point is, yeah, if you worked with computers in the 80s, then you hacked somebody. If you were a child of the 60s, you smoked pot, so on. And sure, Trump's an asshole. And viruses do spread through the air, and many times they have passed from animal to human. The Black Plague, you get the idea. This is just another typical, viral outbreak. It's just the Ebola, and so on. Oh yeah, and those who say that calling it the Chinese virus is racist, well then, then all the historians throughout time are racist. Anybody who supports human rights are Nazis. That's the stupidest bullshit ever. Okay, I just don't call it the Chinese virus because it's not necessary. COVID-19 is sufficient. Okay, but yeah, Trump is calling it the Chinese virus because China is going, it's racist to call it the Chinese virus, because they don't want people to remember that it started with them. All right, they fucked up and started this outbreak. I think that's what happened. And the Chinese government just doesn't want to own up to it. But they fucked up. And so they're like, it's racist to point out that we fucked up. Cover up our bullshit so we don't get blamed for the stuff that we fucked up on. No. When this is over, all right, I think the relevant organizations should address how China fucked up. Okay? And I think they're just trying to cover their ass to make sure that nobody blames them for shit that they did. All right? Millions of people are dying because China fucked up. And saying so isn't racist. And claiming it is racist is fucking bullshit propaganda. You're covering up for China fucking up, and by their fuck up, people dying. All this shit is because China fucked up. And China just doesn't want to take responsibility for it. So it's racist. It's racist to blame us for the stuff that we did. Fuck off.